We are live. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Reaction Time Media's Pro Mod NHRA recaps, catch ups, and lives now. We are live from the big go at Indy NHRA. The man who was number 2 in the Pro Mod world last year and hasn't set a toe on an NHRA Pro Mod racetrack up until about an hour ago. No further introductions needed, Mr. Brandon Snider.
How are you, Brett?
I'm good, buddy. How are you after that bucking bronco ride you just took?
Oh man! So first pair up, which I knew that was coming already, and track actually looked good. Temp was good. It pulled good on the start line, and it was similar to what we tested in. And we made 4 runs in a row testing, no aborts, and so kind of set up for that. And I knew when I left, it was a little spongy, and the further I went, I could just tell the tire was trying to get out from under it, and it just nose started coming over, and I knew it was going to take them off. So I didn't get to see the second pair run, but I did see some cars coming around with no parachutes out, and then I think Scruggs had a wild ride, and then now I'm hearing that they did a little track prep after it. So not sure. After factory showdown anytime, because especially when it's hot, they tend to kind of strip the rubber up, and then if you don't get something back down, or I don't know, it's just I'd like to run behind anybody other than those cars. So it is what it is. We'll lick our wounds and just try to go back out tomorrow, and we got two shots tomorrow, so see we try to do our best to get in the field. So.
Well, you're definitely correct. Jason got a very large windscreen full of parachutes. I don't know how he did not make contact. That man can drive as well as you.
Yeah. No, somebody sent me a video earlier of him, and it's just it's a wild ride. You don't like to be in that position for sure.
No, but, and at that stage, that pass actually made him number 1 qualifier. So that was fairly interesting. He didn't actually cross the center line until after the last cone. And you were also right, Brandon. They did go out and they VHT'd and rotated the track after that. So
yeah, I think it really needs that before Pro Mod. I mean, I don't know whether it's who makes the call on not doing that, but these cars here, they just they make a lot of power, even though it's a big tire. Now these cars have got a little bit more weight. So in order to move that weight, you have to come with even more power. So you have to have a track surface under you to do that. I don't know if that's the Pro Chargers, it being the 2700 now, it's 2740. Because the roots, we were 100 pounds less. So it takes a lot more to get that weight moving.
Gotcha.
So anyway, hopefully tomorrow they'll get it all prepped and we'll be good to go.
Now, you said it was a little spongy, mate. I mean, you still went nine.
Hey, here's the legend right here.
Yeah. Hold her up.
Mr. Scruggs, how are you?
Hey, Brett, you know what helps us? We come up, we was raised on them backwoods tracks that had humps and dips and potholes in them. So we all used to driving that way.
The only difference is we're going 180, not 230 or 40. That's the only difference.
Yeah. I think I lost him.
Jason, while I've got you, how
close was yours to making it? Download it yet?
Yeah, it was
on fire.
No, it wasn't. It was up. It did at the gear change. Yeah.
Okay, it looks like I lost you there for a second, guys.
I know we don't have good service.
Mine had way too much wheel speed to start, and then just rattling.
There you are.
We can hear Jason telling us about his run. Jason, while you're there, tell us a little bit about how much parachute you had in your windshield.
Oh, well, when I figured I wasn't going to hit the wall, I figured that out. Then I said, damn, I'm about to run over a stand, so I had to get on the brakes hard. But no, it was kind of adventurous. Sure.
And that really didn't think qualifier.
I guess that's what everybody says for the wreck.
Yeah.
Now, as I was saying, Brandon, you went 975 to 60. I think Jason was somewhere in that same sort of area. You said it was spongy and getting away from you. This is your first go on an NHRA prep track with a screw blower. It's a little difficult.
Yeah, it is. But the track that we tested on at Steel was hotter than this, and so this track was 10 to 12 degrees cooler. We got a little worse barometer here, had a little better barometer there. Water grains are better here by 10 or 11 numbers, so it kind of all washes out. So I thought we'd be safe starting off where we left off.
Okay.
But that being said, Jason and I were the only 2 cars testing it still, so we didn't have all these other. We didn't have the factory showdown running in front of us. So I think that makes a difference. I really think after those cars, especially those cars, after they run, NHRA really needs to prep that track good. Like I said, the cars are so heavy now, you have to have more power to get them moving. That being said, you got to have a track under you to do that.
I gotcha.
If your car's lighter, it's not as bad.
Okay, that makes sense. So Alan Reinhardt, while you've got Jason there, Alan Reinhardt said that Jason had a roots on his car. I thought it was a screw.
Well, we've been back and forth. We tested with Brandon when I had a screw on it Monday. And truthfully, we might have a little motor trouble, but we just couldn't get it to run as well under the new rules. And we just felt we'd be better to put the roots back on there. Because we haven't had time to test it, really. And we only made a few runs at Steel. And Brandon was outrunning us so bad we thought we'd be better off if we could do something different.
So
now, truthfully,
we
just had something going on. The motor wasn't really up to par with wasn't happy with the blower we were trying to run, lower overdrive. So we just decided we didn't have time to get parts. So
he can still hear you.
We didn't have time to get parts. We just thought we'd be better to put the root stuff back on.
I gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, I thought we were going to have a couple of screw blowers here to talk to, but you've gone back to the roots. So, Brandon, you said you left off where it was. What's the plan then for tomorrow? I mean, are you still you're hoping that you won't be behind those cars? I don't know where you are. I haven't looked at the schedule. Do you think it might be a little cooler? What's tomorrow's plan of attack for Brandon Snider?
Yeah, we run at 3 and 7. So,
and typically, Brett, also something that you got to think about is on Friday at the national events, the pro mods run before any fuel cars has been on the track. As they start prepping for the fuel cars, typically the track gets better over time, over the whole weekend. So that's something else. Typically the track's a little green on Friday, but I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the track. I mean, we just kind of missed it. It was a little bit loose, and just is what it is. But I mean, the track was not great, but there's some good runs made on it, so I'm not blaming the track. But that being said, it will get better.
Well, they did, as Brandon mentioned, they did come out and spray it and rotate it after your pass. So,
yeah, I did notice that, and it probably did because Stan Shelton, he made it down too, and he did tell me his car was loose down there, and he was in the right lane. He said his car was trying to spin down there. Okay. So, and these new body style cars don't have much wicker bill on them, and of course I don't have hardly any on mine. But normally it's stable, but that's the first time it's kind of acted crazy. But truthfully, normally when somebody wrecks down there, they're about wrecking at half track, and I really wasn't about wrecking, but the car was a little bit rattling around. It wasn't stuck to the track like it needed to be. You know what I mean? I thought I had it. I didn't think it was that bad, but when you look at it on the computer, it was a little bit rattling around more than you wanted it to, even up there at the 8th mile.
Yeah, when they replayed it, knowing what we knew after it had made the pass, yeah, you were moving around a little in the first half of the track, that was for sure.
Yeah, it was kind of black tracking the whole way. We didn't, like I said, we haven't run at 16 over at all with the roots with this car ever, and we didn't really know where to start it. We were just guessing, and it kind of halfway made a halfway run. It was going to run a mid 580. That's all it was going to run if I wouldn't have got squirrely. But so it wasn't going to be stellar either way, but it was something to look at.
Yeah.
Just lucky, good riding with me. I didn't hit nothing. Got another shot tomorrow.
All right. Well, best of luck to both of you tomorrow. Brandon,
yeah, we qualified.
You go.
Yeah, somewhere free tomorrow, maybe a little after. So I take it the track will be probably a good bit hotter, and we'll see who we run behind. That matters over here. Like Jason said, anytime you run behind fuel cars, when they start applying the clutch out there, that's kind of where we start putting power into, and it just gets better and better, especially after fuel runs.
What about the common comment made about the clutch dust on the first half of the track after the fuel cars? You don't find that as an issue?
2 bars don't help much. There you go. Got you now.
I was just saying that the first half of the track following the fuel cars, sometimes there's a bit of dust out of their clutches. Is that something you have to take into consideration as well?
Yes and no. I mean, it typically still pretty good. I mean,
The good outweighs the bad.
Yeah, the good outweighs the bad. So,
okay.
They put a lot of rubber down. You know, like I said, when they start applying those clutches, the fingers come in, it just starts pounding that rubber down. It just makes it really nice for us.
I gotcha. All right. So is it a long night ahead?
No, we don't have anything tore up. We didn't go fast enough. So we'll clean it up, wipe it down, and cover it up, and go eat a hot dog.
All right. Well, thank you both so much for your time. Unexpected visitation by you good mate, Jason Scruggs. 2 of the best, nicest pro mod drivers going around. I'm really grateful for your time, guys, and wish you both the world of luck tomorrow and some safety, especially for that wild young man beside you.
Yeah, it'll be better tomorrow, Brett. We'll get our head together and get on it.
Yeah. Thank you, Brett.
Have a great night, guys.
See you, buddy.
See ya.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Well, there you go, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. A little bit of a scratchy signal for Brandon, but more than made up for by the surprise guest appearance of Jason Scruggs. If you haven't seen how close he got to Stan Shelton's parachutes, I suggest you go and have a look. It was a fairly scary ride. Again, thanks so much for tuning in. Hopefully, we will catch up with these guys throughout the weekend and give you some more reports on what's happening at the Big Go at Indy.